Grigori Rasputin. The name alone conjures images of dark power and mystical influence. A peasant who rose to become the confidant of czars. A holy man, some said. A debauched charlatan, others claimed. His life was a whirlwind of controversy, his death the stuff of legend. Who was this man who held the Russian court in his thrall? Was he a true mystic with the power to heal? Or a cunning manipulator who exploited the desperation of a crumbling dynasty? The answers, like Rasputin himself, remain shrouded in mystery. Join us as we delve into the life and death of Grigori Rasputin, the Mad Monk of Russia. We'll explore the rumors, the realities, and the enduring enigma of this controversial figure. Prepare to be captivated, prepare to be disturbed, prepare to meet Grigori Rasputin. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel for more intriguing historical tales. Born in the frozen wastelands of Siberia in 1869, Grigori Rasputin's early life was harsh and unforgiving. A peasant's son, he toiled in obscurity, his world bounded by the rhythms of the land. Yet, even as a young man, whispers followed him. Whispers of strange powers, of visions, of a connection to the divine. Rasputin, it seemed, was different. He embarked on a spiritual quest, wandering Russia as a self-proclaimed holy man, a starets. He preached a gospel of repentance and salvation, but also of sensual experience as a pathway to God. His charisma was undeniable, his gaze piercing. People flocked to him, drawn by his words and his aura of raw power. His reputation grew, spreading beyond the Siberian wilderness, reaching the gilded halls of St. Petersburg, and the ears of those desperate for miracles. Little did he know, his journey was about to take a dramatic turn, leading him to the heart of the Russian Empire. By the dawn of the 20th century, Russia was a nation in turmoil. Political unrest simmered. Revolution brewed. At the helm stood Tsar Nicholas II, a ruler ill-equipped to navigate the storm. Beside him, his wife, the Empress Alexandra, desperate to secure the throne for her son, the young Alexei. But Alexei was afflicted with a terrible secret, hemophilia, a disease that made even the slightest injury potentially fatal. Desperate, the royal couple turned to mystics and healers hoping for a miracle. Enter Rasputin. His reputation as a healer had reached the Tsarina, and in 1905 he was summoned to the royal court. Whether through genuine spiritual power or simple charisma, Rasputin seemed to ease the young Tsarevich's suffering. His influence over the royal family, especially Alexandra, grew stronger with each apparent success. He had become a confidant, an advisor, a power behind the throne. The peasant mystic from Siberia had found himself at the center of the Russian Empire. As Rasputin's influence grew, so too did the whispers. Rumors of his debauched lifestyle spread like wildfire through the salons of St. Petersburg. His pronouncements of repentance, it seemed, did not apply to his own behavior. Stories circulated of wild parties, of orgies fueled by alcohol and lust. High-ranking officials accused him of impropriety with their wives. His supposed sexual appetite became the stuff of legend. Was it all true? Or were these accusations merely the fabrications of his enemies, eager to discredit him and loosen his grip on the royal family? The truth, lost in the swirling vortex of rumor and innuendo, is impossible to discern with certainty. One thing was clear: Grigori Rasputin had become a lightning rod for controversy, a symbol of the decadence and corruption many believed had infected the heart of the Russian Empire. The year is 1914, World War I engulfs Europe, and Russia, led by the increasingly unpopular Tsar, stumbles towards disaster. Rasputin, meanwhile, remains a potent symbol of everything wrong with the regime. He is hated by the aristocracy, feared by the people, and seen as a dangerous threat to the stability of the nation. Something had to give. On June 12, 1914, a young woman named Kionia Guseva, driven by a fervent belief that Rasputin was a demonic force corrupting Russia, traveled to his hometown of Pokrovskoye. She found him on the street and plunged a knife into his abdomen. Rasputin, gravely wounded, collapsed to the ground. The news of the attack spread like wildfire. Had the mad monk finally met his end? He clung to life. Miraculously, he survived. The attack, far from diminishing his influence, only served to enhance his legend. He was, it seemed, indestructible, chosen by God. Or was he something else entirely? The assassination attempt on Rasputin's life only strengthened the resolve of his enemies. They saw him as a cancer, eating away at the soul of Russia. He had to be stopped, no matter the cost. Plots were hatched in the shadows. High-ranking officials, members of the Tsar's own family, even Prince Felix Yusupov, a man of immense wealth and influence, joined the conspiracy. They would be his judge, jury, and executioner. Their first attempt, a poisoning at Yusupov's Moika Palace in December 1916, went awry. Rasputin, it seemed, was immune to the cyanide-laced cakes and wine, but his would-be assassins were undeterred. Shots rang out. Rasputin, shot multiple times, finally collapsed. His body, riddled with bullets, was dumped into the icy waters of the Neva River. The mad monk, it seemed, was finally dead. But the story, as with all things Rasputin, was far from over. When Rasputin's body was recovered from the Neva River, his legend took on a life of its own. The autopsy revealed startling details. He had been shot at close range, poisoned, and brutally beaten. Yet, the official cause of death? Drowning. Rumors swirled. He had fought back against his attackers, displaying superhuman strength. He had continued to live, even after being shot and poisoned, only succumbing when his lungs filled with icy water. The legend of his resilience, already established, reached mythical proportions. Some whispered of a curse. "I shall be killed by royal hands," Rasputin is said to have prophesied before his death. He also allegedly warned that if he were to be murdered by members of the Tsar's own family, the Romanov dynasty would fall. Coincidence or curse? Within a year of his death, the Russian Revolution swept the Tsar from his throne. Nicholas, Alexandra, and their children met a grisly end at the hands of the Bolsheviks. The Romanov dynasty, which had ruled Russia for centuries, was no more. Rasputin's death, far from saving Russia, seemed to usher in a new era of chaos and bloodshed. The Romanov dynasty, already teetering on the brink, crumbled. The Russian Revolution plunged the nation into a brutal civil war. Was Rasputin, as his detractors claimed, a key architect of this downfall? Had his influence over the royal family, his meddling in affairs of state, fatally weakened the Tsar's already tenuous grip on power? Or was he merely a symptom of a system already rotten to its core, a convenient scapegoat for a revolution that was already brewing? The truth, as is often the case with history, is complex and multifaceted. Rasputin's legacy remains a subject of intense debate, his life a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power, the allure of the unknown, and the fine line between faith and fanaticism. Grigori Rasputin, mystic, healer, charlatan, monster. He was all of these things, and none of them. His life was a contradiction, his character a puzzle that historians and psychologists continue to grapple with to this day. Was he a true believer, convinced of his own divine mission, or a cunning manipulator, exploiting the vulnerabilities of those around him for his own gain? Did he possess genuine spiritual powers? Or was his supposed healing abilities nothing more than clever trickery? We may never know the answers for certain. The truth, buried beneath layers of myth, propaganda, and speculation, remains elusive. And perhaps that is part of what continues to fascinate us, even a century after his death. The mystery of Grigori Rasputin endures. The story of Rasputin is a story without easy answers. It's a tale that forces us to confront the unknown, to question our assumptions about power, faith, and the nature of reality itself. Do you believe in the possibility of supernatural powers? Do you think Rasputin was a force for good or evil? Was he a victim of circumstance or the architect of his own downfall? There is no right or wrong answer. But by engaging with these questions, by grappling with the complexities of history, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. The story of Rasputin is far from over. It's a story that continues to be written, debated, and reinterpreted with each passing generation. What do you think of Rasputin's story? Do you have any theories about his life or death? Share your thoughts, comments, and questions below. Let's keep the conversation going. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.